For more on this story, we're pleased to be joined by former House Majority Leader Tom DeLay. Leader, it's always good when you spend time with us here on Newsmax Prime.
Thank you, JD.
I just have to ask you now. We've had a day to kind of sit back and reflect on Hillary's testimony. In your opinion, Tom, should the committee keep right on investigating, or is it time, as so many on the left love to say, to move on?
Well, the left and certainly the media would like to move on, but let's just explain this a little bit, JD. You're a man from the House. A hearing is not definitive. This hearing is not definitive. This was just getting Hillary Clinton on the record. It's not a reality show. It's not a performance. It is an investigation trying to get to the roots of what went on in Benghazi. And of course, the media is not reporting it as that. But I learned a lot of stuff during that 11 hours of hearings. I learned that Hillary Clinton completely ignored what was going on in Benghazi. In fact, they lowered the security in Benghazi when there were 600 emails from Chris Stevens begging for more security. During the event, Hillary Clinton completely ignored that. She even went home during the event. And we still don't know where Obama is. But the most important part of this is who made the decision not to go in and try to rescue our people, or at least find out who did it and kill them. And I think we're going to eventually end up into the White House on all this.
Well, we'll see what happens with the White House, and we'll bring you back as we continue to monitor that situation. Now let's talk about the House where you and I used to work together, the House of Representatives, and this race for the speakership. John Boehner said he quit after that meeting with the Pope, and now the leading candidate to become his replacement, Paul Ryan, is asking, well, really demanding unanimous approval before he takes the job, plus a guarantee of 3 days off a week for family time. You know, Tom, I think those are laudable goals, but isn't a leader supposed to work on behalf of those whom he leads rather than make demands for almost a dictatorship?
Well, first of all, I do think that a demand to change the rules so that if you get an ineffective leader or a leader that you don't want to lead anymore, you can't offer a motion to vacate the chair is outrageous. And the members shouldn't accept that. And they'll have to change the House rules, and the members can vote against it to stop it. But at the same time, I don't know who else you're going to get to lead.
But look at it this way, Tom. There's a huge disconnect between grassroots conservatives and establishment Republicans. Paul, despite his talent as a policy expert, is firmly in the establishment camp. Heck, he's pushing amnesty along with Luis Gutierrez. That is a major disconnection. How on earth can he really run the Republican conference or be the speaker?
Well, we're going to find out, that's for sure. Now, he's saying the right things. He wants to completely change the way the House is run. He wants to move in a more into the direction that the American people are demanding. He's going to use the power of the purse. Talk is cheap, I know that, but that's what needs to be done. We'll see if he's going to be able to execute it. But other than that, I don't know any other person. I'm not defending him. I'm watching him, and I'm making sure that and hopefully making sure that he presents an agenda that the entire conference can rally around and stand upon over the next year. We'll see.
Well, he's been a friend through the years. We served together on Ways and Means, but he's wrong on amnesty, and he's wrong on making demands of the conference. I think he better seriously rethink his approach to this. Let me ask you about the president's approach to gun control. Still, that story out there that the commander-in-chief is considering issuing yet another executive order on guns. Congress rejects that proposal. If the president moves forward, do you believe it would be considered illegal and therefore unconstitutional?
Oh, most definitely. And you should certainly take it to the courts, but the courts is not where it needs to be. It needs to be right there in the House of Representatives, just like they did on the defense bill that the president vetoed. Is to defund or not fund his lawless actions.
But here, yeah, and I appreciate the power of the purse, which has not been utilized, but there's another tool. If you're going to stop him, in addition to going to court, in addition to dealing with the pocketbook issues, is this an impeachable offense?
Well, I think it's an impeachable offense, but are you going to get enough votes to impeach him? You know, we knew we didn't have the votes to impeach Clinton over in the Senate to remove him from office, but we impeached him anyway. The very fact that you might bring it before the Judiciary Committee and investigate it and determine whether it's an impeachable defense is a very healthy thing to do. The House needs to use its power of hearings to start letting the American people know that this is a lawless president, we have a lawless Supreme Court, and the judiciary needs to step up and show the American people what this president is doing, which will support any other efforts to defund the president.
Tom, 30 seconds. There's another story out there, more gossip than politics, but apparently President George W. Bush said at a fundraiser in Colorado that he just doesn't like Ted Cruz. Is that the feeling of most Texas conservatives? Why on earth do you think George W. said that?
Well, the Texas conservatives elected Ted Cruz to the United States Senate and beat a very powerful lieutenant governor that he ran against. And I'll tell you what, Texas is rallying around Ted Cruz right now. George W. needs to get out into Texas a little more often.
Fair enough. And we always appreciate it, Tom DeLay, when you come and join us here on Newsmax Prime. It's always interesting. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you, JD.